Yo, what's up, JP? Appreciate all the Discord help. Just gonna wait for everyone to start pouring in, and then we can hop on the voice channel and get started from there. Opening Discord real quick. What's up, NF? Hope you're doing good. Just waiting for people to start pouring in. And once that happens, we should be good. Typically takes about 3 or so minutes, so I'll give them time. It's only been a minute. I feel like 8 o'clock is still the golden time to go live, so hopefully I'm right. Shouldn't be too long here. Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up, bro?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Just waiting for people to join in.
Nice. Hey, can I do a chat moderation on the YouTube thing on the stream?
Once I get to about maybe 20,000 subscribers, I'll be doing mods, but you'll definitely be first on the list.
Okay, all right. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, of course. We can just debate sports and other stuff too, possibly.
I'm just logging onto my computer right now so I can chat from there and then call from my phone.
All right, bet. What's up, X Edits? Appreciate that.
Do you like everything in the server that I did? Is it okay?
Yeah, it looks great. A lot better than it was when I was in charge.
It just starts off like that, but thank you, though.
Yeah, of course. Just gonna get some people in here. Let's see if we can get to maybe 3 likes or so. See if YouTube will push it out a little more. If we can get these debates going. It's only been 3 minutes, so should start pouring in here pretty soon. All right, getting some more people in here. See if we can get to maybe 5 likes or so and try and end the stream at 13,000 subscribers. And Discord link is in the bio. Join that and we can get some discussions going. Trump shouldn't have attacked Iran. I agree with that. What's up, Liquid Fire? What's up, Archangel?
I'm gonna start telling people to join the Discord server.
See if we can get to maybe 5. We're trying to get some viewers pouring in here. I think we got like 30 or so, but it'll keep going up.
Link is in the bio.
Join that and we get. Trump is.
I'll just keep doing it a little bit because there's people saying stuff already, but.
All right, bet.
I'm gonna start telling people to.
Why the long face? Just waiting for people to join in. No reason. So we can get some debates going. Discord is in my bio. You can join from there and we can get some conversations going. What's up, IRL username guy? All right, getting a lot more viewers in here. Let's see if we can get to 15 likes or so. Someone said Trump is dumb. Iran effed us. I wouldn't say that. I mean, look at the United States compared to Iran. I think Iran's in rubble right now, but shouldn't have gone in there in the first place. I will agree with that. If you want to debate us, join the Discord, and we'll get you in a voice channel, and we can get going from there. Look at the state of their country and look at the state of ours. That's what I'm saying. I think I said that yesterday. Get some more viewers in here. Straight is closed again. Who'd have guessed? If y'all would like to debate, locate the Discord in Andrew's profile. He's very right about that. Yes, doesn't need debating. He's the reason I'm pursuing moving to the AW. Not sure where AW is, but we got some viewers in here. Let's see if we get to maybe 20 likes or so. Just double tap your screen, and if you subscribe, your name does pop up under the live subscriber count. It can help your channel out a little bit. I do take donations as well. Any amount helps, and I'll give you a massive shout out if you do donate. And I appreciate the 10 jewels. I don't know what they do, but it's pretty cool. Someone said Trump is bad. I want Sharia law. You can go to Minnesota if you want that. But even though I'm very right winged, I don't support Trump. But everyone has their own cup of tea, right? Very true, Felicia. Kellum says he's mid. What's up, child of God? Trump is going okay, says Salvatore. Trump is a W. Live Trump. All right. Someone said Trump's the worst president. I disagree. I don't think he's the best, but he's not the worst. What's up, Taylor? What's up, Blue Guy? If you want to debate, join the Discord. We'll get you in a voice channel and we can go from there. Someone said, I would vote for him if I could, man. Don't think he's planning on running a third term, I hope, but fair enough. If he was a good president, we wouldn't protect the people that worked with. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Trump's bad, he honor Israel. I feel like every president has done that for a couple years now. But I'll see if we can get some subscribers and then join the Discord so we can get some debates going. We're getting a little bit more people. I think I'm sitting at like a little under 200, so it'll keep going up.
All right, nice.
Jesus loves you, John 3:16. Appreciate that. Cheetah. Why do people hate ICE? I don't know. I mean, Obama used ICE. He deported about 3 million people. Trump has deported a couple 100,000, but there's definitely been some slip ups, so can't really blame them to the full extent. Who do you think the best president in history was? I'm classic. I like George Washington. I mean, he fought while being president, so that's pretty cool. Discord and Andrew's profile, he's right. What's up, Rev? See if we can get to 13,000 subscribers within the next couple minutes. That'd be pretty cool. Depends on your subjective definition of good. That is true. What's up, Rev again? He isn't gonna live long enough to run for a third term. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Let's see if we can get to 30 likes. Just double tap your screen. If you think he's doing good, then double tap. If you think he's doing bad, then subscribe. Who knows? Just see how the numbers go. Jesus loves you. Appreciate it, Jackson. If you want to debate, join the Discord. Yep. My view on good is not subjective. That's fair. Very fair. Gonna wait for people to join the Discord before we get some debates going. Get some different point of views, and I'll tell you mine once we get some people joining in. People don't agree with Trump because they have been lied to. Obama signed a propaganda act in 2012. Democrats destroyed America. Oh, didn't know about the propaganda act. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's see. Someone said Donald Trump should be Donald Trump. All right. Very productive comment there. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Sitting at about 144 people.
I got someone who said they want to join the server to have fun. Should I let them in?
Might as well. Yeah.
Donald Trump.
See here. Get some more comments going. How's the Strait of Hormuz coming along? Should have never gone into Iran, my friend. A lot of things I like about Trump and a lot of things I dislike about him. Are you pro or anti-Trump? Kind of in the middle. I like what he did with the border, but I don't like what he's done in Iran. Trump likes icy walls. Who knows? Likes are still at 12. Let's see if we can get to maybe 25 or so. Just double tap your screen. And then get some people joining the Discord so we can get some debates going. Make it more fun for everybody. And we're 15 subs away from 12,900, 500. Or 12,950, sorry. See if we can get there within the next couple of minutes. Debates are held in the Discord yet. Who likes Trump? Are you crazy? I mean, over half of voting Americans who voted in the election like Trump, but oh well. How did Americans elect him twice? Because the two previous presidents didn't do great. Obama, or I should say Biden, left the border open for 4 years. I'm new as this creator, anti-Trump. No, I'm down the middle. Try and find common ground with everybody. So we're not the world police. We shouldn't be the world police. We should be focusing on our country only. What's up, Harrison? Let's see here. Obama deported kids as well. As a matter of fact, he put them in cages, and nobody cried about that. I mean, we can't just let 10 million people into the country without vetting them. It's no civilization can be sustainable if we do that. I want to debate you. How about you join the Discord? Get some people in the Discord, then we can start debating. Caden says, I hate Trump. All right. Are you anti-LGBTQ? No. Plenty of people cried about that. Not as there weren't no protests about it though. Someone said Trump is the best president since Ronald Reagan. I don't know. Does this guy support Trump? Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Are you anti or pro Trump? Kind of down the middle. I like some things about him and I dislike some things about him. What happened to America First? Hasn't been America First since Kennedy, unfortunately. Kind of bow down to a country in the Middle East, but Deegan says Trump is a W. Alright. Let me check the Discord real quick. Let's get some more people in here. Sound like you've done no research and all knowledge comes from talking points? Not at all. I mean, was the border not open under Biden? Someone said Trump is racist. How? Is it because he's deporting people? I feel like every president's done that. I'm also in the middle with Trump. Yeah, if you want to explain your opinion, please do join the Discord. Also, make sure to double tap the screen. It helps push it out to more people. Someone says you suck. Appreciate the positivity. I feel like it wasn't Trump that ran a fear propaganda. I feel like it was the left who cried about Project 2025 when it wasn't even real. Chris says he's not a good president. Join the Discord and we can debate. It's the method of deportation. I mean, how are we going to get 10 million people out of the country without changing our methods? Schoolism says I like Trump. All right. What are your thoughts on the Charlie Kirk assassination? I think it's terrible. Can you explain why you like him? I like him because he closed the border. Took Biden 4 years to do that. He didn't do it. Second Trump gets in, I think it took 2 weeks for him to close the border, and he didn't need a bill to do so. He also negotiates better deals for the United States. I remember in his first term, we were defending Germany from Russia, but behind our backs, Germany was buying oil from Russia, and Trump negotiated a more fair deal for the United States. I dislike how he promised no new wars, and then all of a sudden we jump into Iraq or Iran, I should say. So it's a Charlie Kirk v2. I mean, hope I don't end up like him, but appreciate it. Greg, you think Trump is a Nazi? Can you prove that? I mean, it's buzzwords like that that degrade the word over time. I mean, keep saying that and the word means nothing. It also gets people hurt. Opinion on ICE? I support ICE, but they slipped up in Minnesota, but it doesn't mean all of them are bad. Trump is not America first, he's Israel first. Unfortunately, that's been just about every president since maybe Kennedy or so. He's in the files. That is true, but I feel like if he did the things that are listed in the files, the Democrats would have used it against him in 2016 and 2024, but they didn't. Didn't the U.S. lose to Iran? I wouldn't say so. I mean, look at the state of the United States compared to the state of Iran. They have no leader, no infrastructure, no military. Wouldn't say they won. Let's get some people in the Discord so we can actually start talking. Let's see if we can get to 30 likes. Just double tap your screen. And we're about 60 subscribers away from 13,000. That'd be cool if we could hit that in the stream. That'd be a lot of fun. Except my Discord application. Let me check it. Let's see here. All right, should have accepted you. I feel like I did. We're in the Debates When Live voice chat. Michael never said I had to, and not a girl, but okay. How do you go from Fortnite to this? You grow up, maybe? What do you think about abortion? I mean, I don't think that it should be illegal, but I have exceptions, like life of the mother. But other than that, and the two other ones I might not be allowed to say, but other than that, I feel like most people get abortion because they can't own up to their mistakes. How do you feel about illegal e-bikes? No opinion on that. What's up, C squared? Iran murdered 36,000 protesters in one weekend. That's unfortunate. It's crazy. Let's see here. Someone says abortion is bad. Some parts of it, yeah. Wasn't he associated with Epstein and you still think he's a good guy? I don't think he's a good guy. I think he's a good president, but I feel like if he, did the things that are listed in the files, the Democrats would have released them and used it against him in 2016 and 2024, but they didn't. How do I talk on Discord? Go to your settings and type in or look for voice and chat and then click push to talk, and then the key that you press, you just press that before you talk. Margot says I'm crazy. Appreciate that. Opinion on the Carmelo Anthony case? I don't think it was self-defense at all. I mean, don't know who brings a knife to a track and field event, but opinion on marijuana legalization? Don't really have an opinion on that. I mean,
Andrew, can you check DMs, please?
yep, I got you.
Thank you.
Let me figure this out here. All right, we'll get some debate started. See here, getting back to the server. Debate One Live. All right, we got a couple people in the voice channel. Are some of you from the stream, or just were you already here? Probably getting.
We have one person or maybe two people from the stream, pretty sure.
All right, cool. We'll get some more in pretty soon. If you are in the Discord, make sure you fix push to talk. I just have it set up like that so that there's no talking over one another. Makes it more fun. Can I get a shout out? What's up, Deegan? Let's see. Yeah, definitely no spamming in the YouTube chat. It gets a little annoying after a while. How do you get to the Discord? The link is in my bio on YouTube, and I'll accept you from there, and you can join the debate. See if we can get to 40 likes. We're 12 away. You don't have to like, but we're also 50 subscribers away from 13,000. That'd be awesome. Have never been there before. Cheeto Puff, he does very much look like a Cheeto Puff. That is for sure. Why did the Republicans unanimously block the release of the Epstein files on the same day as Charlie Kirk was killed? I don't know, but I also find it weird how 2 days before he was killed, he decides to change his views completely on Israel. But I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist myself. Still think it was Tyler Robinson. It's the definition of a woman. I'd say it goes by chromosomes, to be honest. Mac Prods, let me check it. What is your Discord name, Mac? So should America send more money to Israel? Yes or no? No, not at all. Deegan says I love Trump. All right. Archangel says Trump 1 was great. Trump 2 is only slightly better than Biden. Thoughts? I tend to agree. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Why do you think Trump is great? I wouldn't say he's great, but he's not bad. I like how he closed the border. Trump banner in your trim. Let me check it out. There's no pending application, so you should be accepted. And then we have a voice chat called Debates When Live. You join there, and we can get talking. He's a Statue of Liberty. I disagree with that, but okay. We're 20 likes away from 50. I also have a donation goal, 10 or 15 donations to stream. Helps me out a lot. Of course, you can always watch for free. You don't have to, but if you feel you need to give back, then feel free to do that. Opinion on ICE? I mean, I support ICE, but they messed up big time in Minnesota. They had some slip ups, but there's been many successful deportations, far many more successful ones than unsuccessful ones, so can't really let it blind you too much. Opinion on LGBTQ? I mean, they're free to do what they want. Doesn't affect me.
On ice.
Yeah, what's up? Who's talking?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, would you like to debate?
Yeah, sure. Anyone else want to jump in?
I'm here.
I bet.
Okay, would you like me to make my position?
Yeah, sure, of course. Sounds good.
Okay, I support President Trump because I am an Iranian and I want to see my country liberated. Other than that, I am a newcon. I believe Reagan was the best president, and I think this America First movement, while claiming to be a right wing movement, has so much left wing elements. And as a right winger, I don't like that. But my main thing for Trump is, he's liberating my home country. And also, I believe this war with Iran also benefits America in the long
All right. I mean, that's fair enough. It's interesting. We had somebody here yesterday. He's still in the Discord who is from the UK, and I was asking his thoughts on UK immigration because it's been so rampant lately. But it's cool to hear that you know, your home country is Iraq. I'm guessing you live in America now.
term. Yes, I live in
Oh, and
America,
and I
and
guess yeah, my bad.
yeah, yeah, I live in America. I'm a citizen, and yes, but I'm originally from Iran.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So you do support the war in Iran? Iran?
Yes, I want my country to be liberated from that evil extremist regime. I absolutely hate radical Islam, I
Mm-hmm.
want to see my country prosperous.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts on it. I think that if we went into Iran with the sole intent of regime change, that'd be far better than what we're doing now. I feel like, you know, at least in my entire life, we've had the government crying about nuclear weapons and in the Middle East, and then every time we get in there, it's another 5 or 10 year squabble that ends up losing Americans. But I mean, if we were only there for the sole purpose of, helping the Iranians and fixing their government, then I'd be in full support. But I feel like after we do that, we just need to get out immediately before starting anything else.
So you're saying that right now the United States is not there for regime change, and because of that, it's not worth it. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think they started out in Iran, like I'd
Six
say.
seven six seven six.
All right, nice. Started out in Iran in early March, and it seems like we were there for, number one for oil, number two to help the Iranians because there were a lot of protesters being killed over there. But I feel like we might have been lied to about the weapons of mass destruction. Um, but I mean, I support
But
Trump's like decision to go in there for a regime change, but not for the weapons of mass destruction that we've been crying about for 20 years.
okay, the weapons of mass destruction that you talked about, you talked about the nuclear weapon, right? Because the weapons of mass destruction was for Iraq and Saddam Hussein.
Correct.
Yes, and I need to remind you something that despite the popular belief the Iraq War was not based on a lie. I mean, they. I don't know why people say that no weapons of mass destruction was found. Iraqi government was using chemical weapons that uh, on its own people, on the Kurdish people, to genocide them, to because it was part of Arabization of the whole country, and Kurds were an ethnic minority. So I mean that is a weapon of mass destruction. I don't know why people say that Iraq didn't have it. Now, 9/11, that was a lie, and I think even if Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, it is supporting, which by the way, it was making, it had 60% enriched uranium, and it wasn't making actively trying to make a nuclear weapon, but it was so close to it that if they decided they could, whenever they decided they could easily do it in um, 2 years maximum, probably, possibly even 1 year or even 6 months. Now, I know Bibi Netanyahu is exaggerating when he says that next week they will get nuclear weapon, but Iran does have the ability to get to nuclear weapon in next 6 months with the 60% enriched uranium. That is very dangerous. And even if that was not true, they are the biggest sponsor of terrorism. They're funding Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, Shia militias in Iraq, and Assad regime until it was it failed. I think that reason alone is enough to go there and do the regime change.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I find it weird how, we claimed to have destroyed their nuclear capabilities in July of last year. I don't know how it took them, under 6 months to make a new one.
That is exactly what my point is. When you have 60% enriched uranium, you're so close to you can easily make a new nuclear weapon whenever they destroy your facilities, because the real enriched uranium is underground and you cannot just bomb it with your drones. They can really easily build it again, so you have to go full in and actually topple that regime. That is the only way.
Yeah, maybe I'm just uneducated. I'll definitely have to do some more research, but I'll take you up on it. What are your thoughts on, let's see, maybe ICE, immigration, and border?
My position is I am an immigrant myself, but I came here legally.
Yep.
um, I just think that immigration is good for America as long as it's controlled and legally. And I think illegal immigrants probably kind of insulting someone like me and my family, and how hard, how much we've been through for coming to this country. If everybody just comes here illegally, however they want, that means all of my hard work was for nothing. So I kind of like that. I guess I can say that some few ICE agents could, be less violent, but overall, I support this immigration policy.
Yeah, that's literally
I had uh, I had
identical
some
to
background.
identical to my point of view on the whole thing. I feel illegal immigrants coming into this country kind of is insulting to the legal ones. It kind of denigrates the entire process. I feel like this country has had border laws for almost since its inception, almost 250 years ago, and it seems like
250 years.
the second Trump decides to you know, enforce that law after 4 years of lawlessness under Joe Biden, it seems like everybody just goes up in hands. But I support ICE as well, regardless of the slip ups they've had. What are your let's see who was talking, Durf? What are your point of views on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I want to say first off, I support ICE 100. I think I do, but yes, like Lucifer said, I do think they can be less violent 100%. Um, yeah, that's and also one more thing. Lucifer, thanks for coming legally. That's all I really wanted to say.
Yes, sir.
That's good because
Thank you.
I don't understand why illegal immigrants can just come just legally. They don't have to worry about getting cops everywhere or ICE everywhere. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, I get it, but the immigration process in America at the moment is so terrible, but it doesn't excuse doesn't excuse the act of coming here illegally. Let's see.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any other points you guys want to add in? I know we have a couple more people in here. If they want to interject their points of view, feel free.
No, but I do think they could be less violent, though, ICE.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of them are
Two
definitely trigger
deaths.
happy.
There's been 2 deaths.
Yep.
And those were American citizens who were obstructing what the
Yep.
ICE was doing.
Yep.
Very true.
With the situation of Renee Good, the thing that happened was she hit the ICE officer with her car, and he shot at her, and that's why.
I don't understand why.
Yeah, you can't really drive your car on an ICE agent and expect not to get shot.
Yeah, and people, if you have that like high power of, it's kind of like being a who's going to use this. You're allowed to use your weapon if you're about to die.
We can consider that like self-defense, correct?
Yes, that is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say so. Yeah.
And Andrew, do you want to? Sorry.
Yeah. What's up?
Do you want to move to stage because it might be a little better because people can raise their hands and we can choose each people that can talk and stuff.
Yeah. Let's do that. Everybody, migrate over there legally, please.
Of course.
See here. Yo, can you all hear me? Hope you guys have the right to talk. If not, then we go back to voice channel, but let's see.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what's up? Do I have to give them permission? Let me see. JPSTR, you probably know how to do that more than I do, so if they do need permission to talk, then definitely give it to them. Let me see if I can drag them over. Can't. Let's see here.
And then, guys, if you have something to say, just raise your hand and then we'll call on you. I'm going to let Rooter up right now.
Yes, sir. Let's see here. So JPSTR, okay, we're good. So if you don't have push to talk, then I guess enable that setting and we can get going from there. I will like to say we got about 250 people in the stream at the moment. It's still rising. I'd like to hit 13,000 subscribers this stream. That'd be great if you can click that subscribe button if you like the First Amendment. Appreciate it. We're just getting started today.
And quick, everyone in the audience, if you want to enable push to talk, go to your user settings, go to voice, and then I think pretty sure it's audio output or whatever, and then just click push to talk. It's in your settings.
Yep.
Give me 1 second. I'm just fiddling with the audio right now for my call. I'm sorry.
You're good. Yo, JPSTR, realistically, I could invite them all to speak so that they can hop up on the stage as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you want this, but one at a time might be better.
Yeah, we could do that. That's fair. Let's see here. I'm gonna keep looking at the stream.
I think that worked. Can you say something, please?
What's up?
All right, cool. Just make sure my audio worked out.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Yeah. So I think that I'm probably unique in this room because I think I'm the only one who kind of has a more opposed right now to how ICE is currently operating and just Trump's strategy of deportation in general. And I guess I kind of want to talk about the way that I'm kind of seeing it play out in my, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. In general, as far as deportations, I'm not anti-deportation or pro illegal immigrants just, coming as they do. It's more so that as far as I can tell, it's the methods in which these deportations are happening. I think that, or I think even objectively speaking, we can say that a lot of what happens is under his watch just ethically dubious at best, but at worst, and according to a lot of courts, are just blatantly unconstitutional. as a violation not only of the rights that illegal immigrants do have in this country, but also of legal immigrants that exist, and even American citizens who are being profiled.
What rights do illegal immigrants have?
Every whether they are illegal or not, does have the right to due process. And as far as I can tell, and as far as some courts can tell, the current deportation strategies that the administration is taking advantage of does violate their right to due process.
And what is their strategy exactly?
It is essentially they are collecting immigrants and deporting them to, in some cases, countries that they aren't even from in the first place, without trial, without a jury, without any true investigation. And beyond that, you also have examples of people who are legally in the country, either via green cards or some other form of immigration papers, or are just legally naturalized, who are finding themselves and their rights now violated. It's a pretty expansive topic that I think can get pretty dark. I think the more deep that you look into it. But yeah, it's, I think, quite problematic. And while I want to get into that, I also just want to say in general that even if this weren't the case, I don't necessarily think that Trump is delivering on the promises that he had when running for president, that being essentially deporting all of the worst people, all of the worst immigrants in America. I think that, or I'm positive that he's been quoted to say that all of these deportations that are happening are supposed to be focused on the worst of the worst, or the most violent criminals. This is their prioritization, is what he said. This is what he led with in his campaign.
They can prioritize and act on other things at the same time, though.
No, but that's the thing. They're not prioritizing. If you look at the data, only around 5% of deportations have deported immigrants that are convicted of a violent crime. And not only that, more than 70% of deportations are of immigrants who have no prior convictions at all, no criminal convictions. And while I understand and I believe that the fact that they are already in America is an illegal thing, I'm saying beyond that, there should certainly be a hierarchy of prioritization in which immigrants to deport. And considering the promise was worst of the worst, the violent criminals, we're seeing, in fact, the opposite of that. And from what I can tell, as they're targeting mostly non-criminal offenders, it seems as if they are actually being lazy in the way that they deport, because they're prioritizing not, well, they're going after easy targets. They're going after targets that are easy to deport, who do not actually have criminal convictions, in order to, as far as I can tell, pad the numbers, to say, look at how well we're doing, and look at all these deportations. Can't you see how successful we are in our acts?
Well, the process is not done, and I think it takes a while to catch these kinds of people, because
Well,
they
of
did
course.
something that bad. And we have still time left in, like, Trump being president, so you never know what's going to happen. I understand what you're saying, but it's like, other things can be done also.
Well, of course, but you know, if the promise is we are here to get the worst of the worst, and in fact they are not, they're just getting, you know, sometimes people who just have normal lives other than the fact that they are illegal. It seems to me like this is a disingenuous attempt at essentially being purveying themselves as if they are doing what they've said that they would do. It seems to me that in the pursuit of trying to say, look at us, look at all the deportations that we're having, can't you see that we're doing what you wanted us to do? The reality of the situation, it seems, is that they're just padding the numbers. And in the process of lazily padding these numbers to make themselves look better, they're hurting Americans in the process. right? I mean, say what you will about Renee and Alex Preddy, they were still American citizens. And even beyond the, I'll say, speculative nature of how Renee went down, Alex Preddy, by all accounts, was innocent. And I think that it's wrong that in the pursuit of essentially the priorities of well, not following the promise, in the pursuit of deportations that could have happened anyways, in the pursuit of making ICE a more prominent figure instead of what it was in the past, we're seeing essentially Americans suffer for it. And I do think that he's essentially created a far more powerful force than before. It's been filled with people who are not qualified, and that it's not delivering on the promises that he made. And in that, we are losing Americans. And in that, we are also violating the rights of Americans. There's stories of people who you couldn't even say that birthright system applied. They are just straight up Americans who have been demanded of them their papers and detained for not providing them because what American carries on them naturalization papers if they're already American. There's this case of this teenager, a Latino teenager. I believe he worked at a Walmart who was American and detained by ICE under they suspected that he wasn't. They cuffed him up, they zip tied him, they threw him into an unmarked van, and they ran away with him. And then hours later, he was dumped miles away from where they took him from his job and just left there. And he was beaten, bloody. And I think that's a problem. I also, I guess I can speak a bit more. I'm sure to this, just because also the first time I ever heard of this happening, it was actually nearby where I go to school. It was this, I believe she's Turkish girl who was getting, I believe, her master's. She was on a visa to be educated here in the States. And on the video, before I even knew that was ICE, I just assumed that this was a kidnapping. It looked like a cartel kidnapping. This unmarked van pulls up beside her. These masked men jump out. They grab her and they throw her into the van and they drive away. And what I was watching is what I thought was this is going to be this class discussion was going to be about the dangers of like cartels in America. No, it was a clip of ICE just taking this girl, not giving her access to talk to her family. For all the family knew, she just disappears, and taking her away. And I'm honestly very scared.
I'll give my point of view because it seems like you might have cut out there a little bit near the end, but very eloquently
Yeah.
said.
Hey, real quick, Andrew. It's me. Hi, Jack.
What's up?
Yo, what's up, bro? Can I just add on to what he was talking about quickly? I kind of have a hot take about ICE.
Yeah, sure.
So when I look at the things that Donald Trump has said about not even just illegal immigrants, but what he said about people that just aren't even from this country, but are in their country and pretty much just not white. I see a lot of similarities to maybe like 1934, 1935 Germany with the Gestapo, because there's been a lot of things that Trump has said. For example, illegal immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country, or when he said that uh, illegal immigrants are the enemy of the country. For example, after Alex Preddy died, he said that you shouldn't have a gun at a protest. He called him a domestic terrorist. He said, ICE's motto was comply or die, and even if which I do support the deportation of violent offenders, R words, murderers, everything like that. I think they should be deported. But a lot of these people that are being deported are just middle of the run citizens. They pay taxes.
Thank you, Beatles.
They have it's called an illegal alien number, not a social security number, but they contribute to society. And a lot of the times when I see people saying, they're stealing our jobs, they're doing the jobs that nobody wants to do for bottom dollar. So what I see when I see ICE is I see Trump giving the American people a common enemy, um, and saying things like comply or die. Everything matches up very, very, very closely to things that were going on in Germany. How Hitler was giving, um, the the people a common enemy, and in that case, it was the Jewish race. Um, but I just think there's a pretty strong correlation there, and that's one thing that I really think is scary. Just because, for example, Barack Obama deported millions more people, millions more illegal immigrants than Donald Trump did. But the reason you didn't hear anything about that is because Barack Obama was doing it in a way that was quiet. He didn't have masked agents refusing to identify themselves out on the streets. He wasn't sitting outside of like social offices where people were, or well, illegal immigrants were trying to literally go pay their taxes, and then he would have ICE agents sitting outside. He didn't incorporate laws that allowed ICE agents to legally uh, discriminate people based on their race and stop people because they assume or because they think that you're an illegal immigrant. So if they look at you and like, yeah, he looks Mexican, they're allowed to detain you. Which what that other guy was talking about with right to due process, that pretty much blows that out the window. And another thing, one more point that I think ICE that makes ICE less of an immigration task force and more of like a secret military police, kind of like the Gestapo, uh, is where they're being deployed. And if you look at the map on where ICE agents are being deployed compared to the amount of illegal immigrants, you'll see that extremely democratic states that have lower immigration um, rates, like for example these northern states like Michigan and stuff like that, have high amounts of ICE agents. When we look at something like Texas, which is a very, very red state and has been for a while, that right on the border of Mexico, and it has a ton of illegal immigrations, but he doesn't have ICE deployed there. And like I said before, well, actually, I don't know if I mentioned this, but he said that when the midterms come up, that he's going to have an ICE agent at every single podium, which it's like saying that just makes it seem less like an immigration task force and more like a secret police. And one thing that I did want to mention about. Oh, sorry.
Like an attempt at intimidation? Is that what you're trying to say? It's supposed to kind of be like.
I think. Yes, I think an attempt at intimidation, but also just an attempt at trying to rile up these democratic states and make them look bad when ultimately something bad happens. Like when there's protests and stuff like that, and things get way, 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 way out of hand. It makes these democratic states look bad. Like they tried to blame it on the. Oh, my bad. I thought I was talking this whole time.
You just cut out. I mean, we heard like the gist of it. I'll kind of interject here a little bit.
Yeah.
I've always complied, at least more recently, for a more rigorous training for ICE agents. Um, Comparing Trump and Obama, ICE, the tactics are definitely different, but it's also important to remember Obama did have kids in, wouldn't say cages, but it was kind of a chicken wire
They were
fence.
kids.
I mean, yeah, they definitely looked like cages, but I'm sure who knows what his intent was. Um, and in terms of due process, I agree. It would be nice if there was a fairy tale land where we could give all 10 million of them due process, but it's simply, I mean, it just isn't really viable with all 10 million. I mean, that would take probably 5 lifetimes to finish all that. Any thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts on that would just be I see what you're saying, where it would be great for a fairy tale land, but when it comes to the rights of other human beings, how I like to think about it is, if it could happen to them, it could happen to you. So I think that if there isn't an option to give all of them due process, then there should be a different way of it being carried out. Because one thing that what oh, I'm talking to this guy named Andrew. This guy named Andrew. Sorry, my grandma just walked in.
All good.
We're having a debate. Me.
Andrew, keep fuck out,
I
dude.
think I think she got possessed by an owl. She keeps saying who.
That's wild. Crazy
I
world.
think so. Huh?
Who are you talking to?
This guy named Andrew.
On YouTube, debating.
I'm a masturbator.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. She's looking at me weird. But but anyway, what I was saying is, like, if it can happen to them, it can happen to you. And like, really, to be honest with you, I'm not. This kind of sounds horrible when I say it, but one of the main concerns I have with ICE isn't even the fact that they're deporting a bunch of people and everything like that. And there's some people that definitely don't deserve it. But a big thing for me is, like, if it can happen to them, it can happen to me. Which, it's like, I forgot who said it, but it was this quote, and he was like, they went after like the illegal immigrants, and I didn't say anything because it wasn't me. Then they went after African Americans, but it didn't matter to me because it wasn't me. Then they went after the woman, but it wasn't me, so it didn't matter. And then they came after me, and there was no one left to speak out. Which I don't know if it'll ever get to that point. But I feel like if there isn't a way to incorporate due process into the detentions that they're doing, that maybe they should be reworked, and there should be a different approach to it. You know what I mean? And I think with the amount of money that ICE gets yearly, I think there should definitely be at least some due process going on. You know what I mean? And maybe they should change it to where you can't be detained for, quote, looking Mexican. You know what I mean? I think that's really a big issue.
Yeah, it would definitely be nice if maybe there was like in today's day and age, we could probably figure out some online way of getting due process done. But it seems as if we haven't gotten there yet. Anybody else want to interject?
Yeah. Just on the idea of, like, wishing it was possible that all these people could get due process, and that it's just a consequence of essentially the activity that they can't get due process. It doesn't matter. It's a constitutional right. If you are setting the precedent that it is okay in some cases to violate a person's constitutional right for whatever reason, that is by design a slippery slope that is going to lead us into a series of other unconstitutional actions. If some people are not entitled to their constitutional rights, it's just going to lead to people who are corrupt and who want power finding ways to deny as many people as possible, including the opposition most likely, their constitutional right to due process. It's not a case of if only, it's a case of we have to. It's a case of the fact that he's denying these people due process should be horrific to us. It's the fact that courts have to come out and say, Donald Trump, you cannot take these people and then without due process deport them to countries that they're not even from in the first place, where they have absolutely no connections and no networks to survive there. That is a problem. And beyond that, just the fact that, like, it's a constitutional right, they need it. The treatment of them in the meantime is utterly inhumane. There was a piece done by the New York Times that interviewed three people who were in the country legally and had been detained illegally by ICE. One of them was a Latina woman. She was married. She was a mother of two. And she had her green card and was further trying to attain citizenship. One was a man from Egypt who also was here legally and worked for a nonprofit charity trying to help people, and the other was a white, rich Canadian Republican woman. And all three of them got ambushed essentially by ICE, detained, and then forced to stay in these detention centers. And their stories are horrific. In the course of in the case of the Canadian woman, she said that they were forced to go to the bathroom and shower in front of guards and inmates alike, that they had absolutely no privacy, that they're at a risk of sexual assault. And so it was often that uh, guards would come in and force them to pee in the cups in front of each other, groups of 20 women at a time, standing in a circle in front of other inmates, pee in cups, drop a pregnancy test in there to see if they had been assaulted. And she attests that she only managed to get out because she was so well connected and because of her skin color. In the case of the Latina woman, she was forced to stay in there for uh, weeks and was denied any attempt to at humanity. She was on her period, and they refused to allow her to clean herself. They refused to allow her to shower for a week.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
she had
how
and,
much YouTube is gonna allow for that, but I mean,
and she had to stew in her own menstrual blood for a week.
Andrew,
yeah, what's up?
And then in the case of the Egyptian,
I'm very sorry to tell you,
Yeah.
I've banned 2 people in the past 5 minutes.
All right.
Thank you, Riley.
you're the best.
Yeah, someone said they were going to kill Kamala, and someone was calling you hate speech.
That's crazy stuff. Crazy world.
But in the case of the Egyptian man,
But let's try and keep this the talk like maybe more YouTube suitable, because who knows what they'll do.
right.
Yes, I know.
So
Sorry.
this is less obscene then. In the case of the Egyptian man who was working for the nonprofit, who was here trying to stay educated and get his degree, he said that he was in there for 72 days. All these people, by the way, were allowed no connection with the outside world. The outside world just basically had to go on and know that they were gone and couldn't interact with them at all. And this man tried to advocate, along with the rest of the people there that were of his faith, a chance to practice and pray, which is a protected First Amendment right. And in return, he got taken and stuffed into solitary confinement for a week. And while he was in there, he had to sit, and he just thought, his mental health deteriorating, just believed that this was it, that he was going to stay there for however long, get deported, and then possibly, be offed when he goes back to Egypt. And could you imagine sitting by yourself for a week, just having to come to terms with your own possible ends, your demise? That's a horrific thing. And this is a full spectrum, I feel like, of also like the racial spectrum. White woman, Latina, and Middle Eastern. And all these people were treated just as awfully, but obviously to varying degrees depending on their resources. And all of them attest that it was inhumane. That man in particular said that he had been tortured while in Egypt. And he said that this experience in an ICE detainment center was far more traumatic. All of them also said the same thing, that when they asked or they begged a guard to allow them some attempt at connection with the outside world, or just to know what was going on or what was going on with their papers, because again, these are all people who were here legally, the guards just said either I don't care or this is just my job, which is hauntingly similar, I think, to the rhetoric that was expressed by a lot of German soldiers after World War II. I was just doing what I was told. This is hauntingly similar. These are people who are just going with things because that's what they're told to do. And they're watching these people suffer in utterly inhumane conditions. And even worse than this, it gets worse. There has had to been a mass migration of minors to Texas because so many of them have gotten pregnant while detained. And as you can imagine, the majority of them did not want to get pregnant. And a lot of them attest that it was ICE agents that did it. And so now all these people who didn't want these babies that they're going to have are being forced down to Texas, where in Texas they're not allowed a right at an abortion. that are being forced to give birth to babies that were forced upon them by men, some of which were ICE agents. This is horrific. This is not. I just simply, when I look at the way that ICE is being handled, the way that it violates constitutional rights, the way that it is violating just basic humanity and humane conditions, and in the way that is just some of these things are either not explored by the opposition or just utterly lied about, despite the fact that these are blatantly just, you can find these so easily. It's insane to me that anybody can say that ICE is, as it is right now, okay. That
Can
ICE,
I ask where you're getting all your information?
yeah. So the case of these three people is from the New York Times. They did a.
Can you send me that article, please? I'm having trouble finding it. I might not just be able to see it, but
Sure. If we're gonna do sourcing stuff, I'll send it probably later into the night, just because there's more stuff to say. I don't want to be distracted.
you can just send it to me privately.
I will promise you. If you want, you could actually make a channel for sources. I think that would be a good idea. A channel in.
You can just send it to me in DMs. If
Okay.
that's fun.
But yeah, this is my understanding of ICE right now, is that they're horrific, that they are violating human rights, that Trump is attempting to violate constitutional rights by trying to ban birthright citizenship, by trying to go around due process, and that the courts, that many of which have justices that he appointed, are striking and blocking a lot of his executive actions as unconstitutional for these reasons. And that's all I have to say about that. And then, of course, there's more that I could say about just blatant mischaracterization of him closing the border. No, which I will say, I don't see why I wouldn't. There seems to be this idea that goes around that Trump should be lauded as this person who has essentially closed the border after Biden did nothing for his term. And I will say that this is also fundamentally a mischaracterization and an overexaggeration of his accomplishments. Biden didn't do any. It's not that he didn't do anything. Biden, during his term, was attempting to find legislative action to close the border, because legislative action is much more resilient to change.
He's the one who opened it.
I mean, it's been open, but anyways, a lot of Trump's actions have been executive orders, right? And this is what Biden was attempting to avoid, because executive orders are fragile, they're flimsy, they're subject to the purview of the judicial branch, so they can at any point overrule, and also they can be struck down with another president coming to power, right? So executive orders are not a permanent fix. And we could see that now under Trump, as I said, courts are striking down his executive orders because they're fragile, they're flimsy, they're not as steadfast as a legislative action. And so the majority of Biden's presidency, he was attempting to find a legislative solution to the border. And they almost did. They produced a bill for Congress that would effectively help to reduce border crossings.
I'm gonna invite up another speaker because they've been waiting for a while. If that's fine.
Yeah, let me just finish this. But and that's what they did. They introduced this bill, and it ended up getting struck down, despite how useful it was. And you might ask, well, why is this the case? Well, I'll tell you why. And because then Republican officials have confirmed this. Trump told Republicans in Congress to veto the bill, so that way he could keep open borders as a talking point in his campaign. And then that forced Biden to make executive orders at the end of his presidency to try and secure the border. So then Trump came in, he inherited a more secure border than what it was during the bulk of Biden's presidency, produced even more executive orders, of many of which have been struck down as unconstitutional or just in general blocked by the judicial branch, by courts. And he is now taking full credit for having closed borders. When the truth is, the borders could have been closed in a much more steadfast way if he didn't tell Republicans to veto the bill while Biden was in office.
Right,
So I just think
probably invite somebody else up here just
Sure.
to kind of get through people, but I do appreciate your input.
Yeah, I just think that it's a gross mischaracterization to say that Trump is somehow bringing us a more secure border when, if anything, he is to blame for how open it was for some of Biden's presidency, just because of how resistant he was to that bill. And also, I think it's kind of ludicrous to say that what ICE is doing right now is in any way normal or humane or even constitutional.
It's not happening as much as he thinks.
The thing that I don't understand is Biden could have, written all these things in Congress without reversing all of Trump's executive orders in his first term. If he didn't reverse Trump's executive orders, then we wouldn't have had the influx of illegal immigrants crossing the border. But I mean, solid input though. I mean, a lot to think about for sure.
I agree with you, and 4 years. And,
What is ICE's
Yeah.
Go.
What is ICE's preferable method of deporting? Do they go by boat, car? How does that go?
Depending on the area or what they're trying to get to, I'm pretty sure.
It's probably land, if I had to imagine.
Yeah.
Probably vehicle of some sort, like probably cars or buses.
hmm
But let's see if we can get some more people in here. That was probably 20 minutes or so. So
The man, the myth, or I don't know.
let's see. Who do you
He's
think?
the-
Who do you think is like a real solid person?
Probably Jax or Adrian.
Let's see here. Whoever you think, JP, you can accept them in. You're a little better at this than I am.
I never heard like somebody debating give like ideas for the debate for like sources for people can actually like prove themselves.
Yeah.
Like that was actually
And
smart.
the man, the myth, has had his hand raised for a while, but I asked
Yep.
him what he wants to debate about, and he kind of said like he didn't give like a real reason, so I don't know. If you want to explain in chat really quick what you want to talk about, I'll look at that really quick so I can make a quick choice.
All right, bet. Yeah, I'll do that.
I can check also. Can you guys people who have your hands raised, can you explain in chat what you wanted to talk about?
And while I'm talking to chat, make sure you guys aren't talking on here because they can't hear you, and it just makes it a bit of a conflict. But I'll tell you guys when I'm done talking to them.
The man, the myth said I'll debate about the current state of the military.
All right, real quick to chat. Thank you guys for 13,000 subscribers. That's insane. Let's see if we can get to like
More about Trump.
200 or so.
I mean, the military does branch off of that.
And let's see if we can get some more donations going. You don't have to donate. You can always just watch for free. But
said I'll debate about the current state of the military.
we're 17 likes
Yeah.
from 100. Let's see if we can get there as well. I'm new at this, so bear with me. Appreciate the new member. That's awesome. I think his name is Jack.
Maybe Smidge. Jax wants to learn more about ice. Maybe we can just do that really quick. I'm gonna invite Jax up and then Smidge after. All right.
All right, sure. Get some more.
I invited you to speak, Jax.
Hello, can you hear me?
What's up?
Hey, what's up? Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm just not too educated on ice, and I'm just trying to figure out if it's like good what they're doing, and if it's like bad, you know.
Yeah, that's
That's
fair.
just trying.
In terms of ICE, they've been a thing since 2003. We've never really needed them as much as we do now with the influx of people that came over the border in the previous administration. Their sole purpose is getting illegal immigrants and illegal border crossers out of the country and hopefully to their country of origins. You know, I mean, with an influx of 10 million, it's not guaranteed that all of them will get back to, you know, the place where they should be going. But it's just like any kind of enforcement agency, like the police. We had a in 2020 the whole George Floyd stuff, a bad actor in the police department, and it kind of ruined people's thoughts on police across the country, even though it was just one isolated incident. But
Hey, you hit 13K.
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry,
13K. Let's see if we can get
Congrats.
to like 13,300 by the end of the stream. I think we were sitting at like almost 50,000 viewers total this stream, so that's pretty cool. We'll keep it
Oh
going.
yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
In your opinion, do you think what ICE is doing is good?
there's definitely been some slip-ups, but inherently, I think that the purpose of the organization is in good faith. I would like to see I guess more of a rigorous admission process. It feels like a lot of people that join are kind of trigger happy, but with the influx of people who wanted to join since I think November 2024, it's kind of hard to vet. But I would like to see more of a rigorous process in that aspect. How about you?
Um, honestly, I think what they're doing is good. It's just all my family kind of hates ICE in that way
Oh,
because my family is Native American, and my aunt would say, "Oh, ICE is gonna come get me because I'm Native American," because they don't really care. They just take who has darker skin. Is
I
what she
think
said.
what Reuter was talking about earlier with regular citizens getting their rights violated doesn't happen. I already said this. It doesn't happen as much as you think. And straight up, if you're illegal, you're already breaking the law. So,
Yeah.
and plus, they don't. Depending on the agent, there's like bad cops, there's bad people and stuff. But there are discriminatory agents. I agree with that, but it's just not as bad as people think.
Mm.
The news
You
definitely
guys really helped me with
amplifies
that.
negativity for sure. But I mean, 99% of ICE interactions are, you know, wouldn't say positive for the illegal, but most of them aren't like confrontational physically and whatnot. Most of them are a solid
Mm.
transaction, but there's definitely been some slip ups that have taken a lot of flack in the news. I mean, in today's day and age, negativity is kind of what sells, unfortunately. So the
Mhm.
positive deportations aren't being, I guess, newsworthy. But
Yeah, and especially with this is more of a right wing thing, but I don't know if Andrew, if you agree with this, with the left, the fake news, that's what you call it, the fake news, like CNN, different news outlets that usually spread more information because they're more on the liberal side.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely
Uh,
a divide in news. I mean, you look at Fox News and then MSNB and MSNBC or MS Now, I think they call it. It's a stark difference. It'd be nice if there was some more neutral ones. Um,
mm.
but I mean, at this point, you kind of got to get your news like kind of cross reference. If you get something from MSNBC, you got to cross reference it with Fox just to get a better understanding. Vice versa, obviously. But it's unfortunate. It's not like 2010 anymore where it was all kind of in the middle and common sense and whatnot. But
Yeah.
definitely very divisive.
Could I ask one more thing? If that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Um, do you think COVID was set up by the government to test our immune systems
No,
and how the world would react?
I don't think so. No,
You
above my
don't think
pay
so?
grade. No, not really.
Fauci did kind of do things, but that's a really weird situation that we're probably never going to figure out. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean there was definitely some slip ups for sure by our government, but I don't think that it was I don't think that it was really a setup. I'm not really a conspiracy nut in that aspect, but maybe I'll just have to do some more individual research. But as of now, I
Yeah.
don't think that it was a setup.
Why do you think they put uh, all these weird things in the COVID-19 vaccine? What would that be, do you think?
Um, honestly, I'm not too familiar, but feel like
I know.
I feel like they were just scrambling for a vaccine, and they were trying to get things that worked for other diseases and try and test whether or not they'll work for COVID. But I mean, it's definitely an interesting topic for sure. Definitely above my pay grade though.
Do you work for the government?
No, not at all.
Oh. All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of
All right.
course.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Later. All right, let's get some more people in here. I'm gonna talk to chat real quick, so try and be as quiet as you can on Discord because they can hear both me and you guys.
Yeah, that's okay, Andrew.
All right, chat. We're sitting at, let's see how many viewers we're sitting at total. Almost 50,000, about 50,000. We've got $2 in donations and 1 membership. Let's see if we can get some more donations rolling in. I think my max for a stream was $350, which is insane. You don't have to donate, but if you like the First Amendment, then feel free to donate. Let's see if we can end the stream with 13,200 subscribers. That'd be great. If you subscribe, you get a little shout out. Your name pops up under the live subscriber count. And if you want to debate us, the Discord is in my YouTube bio. Join there, and we can get things going, get things sorted out. And we're 5 likes away from 100. Let's see if we can get there as well. I'm going to get back to Discord so we can continue debates. But first, I'm going to read some comments. Let's see here. Someone said 9/11 was an inside job. That's wild. Definitely some corrupt government officials, no doubt about that. Someone says Trump is the best president. Can I donate Robux? I'm probably not, no. Let's see here. Someone said Trump is homophobic. I don't know how. I mean, I haven't really seen him do anything other than ban men from women's sports, which isn't really a bad thing. Let's see. 89% to 11 on that poll. Yeah. What can you do? Had 50,000 people in here. There's no way. No way all of them are subscribed. But do you know how to do research? I do. Let's see here. Someone said Benjamin Netanyahu is your president. I mean, to an extent. Tell him to get triple boost. I mean, I was definitely critical on the vaccine mandate, but I don't think everybody needed to get a vaccine if they didn't want one. It kind of goes against bodily autonomy. But let's see if we can get some subscribers rolling in. You do get a shout out, like I said. And let's go back to Discord. All right, I'm done talking to them, so we can start dragging some more people in here. Preferably people that haven't talked yet.
I'm gonna invite the man, the myth first, but I just want to say that Reader sent me some sources that I'll show you later, Andrew. So we can check those out if you'd like.
Yeah, of course.
The man, the myth. I'm gonna let you up now. And then after that is
Man, the
Mr.
myth has
Bobo.
been waiting for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, hello, can everybody hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Good evening, Andrew. I do thank you for taking the time to be able to speak with me and have these civil conversations over social media. I do very much appreciate it. We definitely don't get enough of these in this country. Definitely don't.
Happy you're here, man.
Yeah, so I do personally want to ask some of your thoughts, like especially like gun control and like how it might like the correlation between like that and the mental health crisis, because I do have my fair share of thoughts since I lived in the country in the state of Iowa, and then my dad also works for the state, and he does have his fair share of thoughts about it too. I'm just curious what yours are before I talk about my thoughts.
Yeah, of course. Ask away.
So pretty much when it comes to like, people like with mental issues, just using firearms as committing crime or just causing issues with like maybe within a home or whatnot. Like, what are your thoughts about that, or do you have any more sources about that?
I'm very pro Second Amendment. I think every American citizen has the right to own a firearm, but it would be nice if there were more rigorous background checks. I feel like if you have a history of mental illness, you shouldn't be able to walk into a gun store and purchase a firearm. But I'm very pro Second Amendment. I mean, in terms of the whole mental illness aspect, it's a slippery slope, but I don't think that if you show signs or a history of mental illness that you should be able to have access to one until you get proper care, maybe 10 years of rehab or something like that.
Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, also currently on a military installation now that had a shooting back in 2019 by a service member. I don't fully remember the story, but I mean, feel free to look it up. It was the 2019 Pensacola shooting here on the base. 3 service members were shot. It was not pleasant time, but there were some heroes that came out of it. But I vaguely do remember. I'm not speaking from facts. I'm having a hard time remembering because this was about 3 months ago. I was told about this. Like, it was like, I think some sort of mental thing going on, but I'm not sure. But it's just kind of weird because I mean, I was just a civilian back in 2019, and like middle school when I didn't even know that shooting happened, and then just being on the base where a shooting happened, and then the Secretary of War being like, "Hey, we're going to allow firearms service members on base again." I'm like, "Hey, I'm not opposed to as a firearm enthusiast, and love go hunting, but just now, just hearing about that, I'm like, I do have my fair share of thoughts about it."
Yeah. Was it a service member that was shooting, and did he have PTSD?
Um, that's where I don't recall off the top of my head. I do. The chaplain on base kind of gave the shorter version of the story, but it was like a service member walks on base, walked into our officer building, which I happened to be nearby, and he shot like an ensign and then like two air crew who were both petty officers. And I don't know the full story. I mean, feel free to look it up online because I mean, there's several stories about it, but it just being here and just knowing the fact that three service members died on American soil due to, I don't know if this classifies an act of domestic terrorism, but just that just hangs so close to home is just, it's like almost as weird because I was in a town about an hour away from the Perry school shooting when that happened about a year or two ago, and I'm like, even I was slightly scared. It was 7:36 in the morning. I was walking through my school when that happened, and I'm like, that just kind of scared me and my classmates at the time.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the United States, there's definitely a mental health crisis. I would I would throw PTSD in the mental health category. I think especially if you were a serviceman and you have PTSD or show signs of PTSD, I think there definitely needs to be very, very in-depth and rigorous screening when purchasing a firearm. But it's definitely an interesting conversation for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I don't have it. This is my first time watching and getting to talk with you. But I think, is this your first time talking with a service member?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, appreciate your service, by the way.
Hey, of course. I mean, I might not be through my training yet, but hey, I'm willing to give my thoughts from the military side because I know we've had, I mean, some immigrants speak and some American citizens speak. Hey, we all have our different thoughts and our backgrounds,
Yes,
which,
sir.
hey, that's what makes our country great.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Hey, hey, of course. Hey, of course. What else? But personally, from what I know with firearms, I do personally agree. People have the right to like own whatever firearm they do want, but then also just like if you do have mental issues, like get the help you need, and if that could be like dealt with, and maybe if it's fixable, and you can maybe have the option to own a firearm if you want. Now, that's just my thoughts. I mean, my dad has his fair share of thoughts too because he works with Health and Human Services for my home state, and he does see a lot of issues with the 6 counties he works in. He sees quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, I imagine
It's
so. I mean, I'm right near Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Fayetteville's a massive military town. I've got kind of family history there. But it's definitely I've had a guy from the UK talk about the immigration problem over there. He's from Northern Ireland area. I've had an Iranian immigrant today, a very patriotic guy, and now I've got a service member. So we're kind of collecting all the Infinity Stones. So I appreciate it.
it's definitely an interesting way to put it. And I think especially with immigration, there are a lot of good people that can come out of many different countries, and I
Oh
mean
yeah.
that's kind of what made like our country so unique. Like multiple different Italians who would eventually be the mayor of New York, or
Mm-hmm.
several different groups like coming into the Midwest, like especially into Wisconsin, Iowa, Louisiana, and all that. Like all those groups. I mean, like legal immigration has helped this country tremendously. If you're coming here for a better life, hey, take advantages. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a perfect example. He's mentioned it multiple times, and he's an immigrant, and he's proud to be an American,
Yep, former
despite being an
governor of
immigrant from
California.
Austria.
Yeah, fantastic guy. I mean, he ended up being world famous actor and the former Republican governor of California. So definitely the American
Yeah,
dream for sure.
yeah, of course. And I think what what was it? I think it was on The View or something. I saw the clip on YouTube. He pointed out like it's like he pointed out when if you're an immigrant, it's like you're visiting someone else's house. You want to make sure it's clean, but since we got the issues of illegals coming in and making a mess of the place, I mean, personally, I mean, if we're deporting them, I would personally, this is my thought. If these people are here illegally, but then we're like, hey, if you come in through the legal process, we'll give you a second chance to come to the country. But if you've committed crimes, like we're not going to give them let's not give them the opportunity to like come back. Because if you're committing a crime in the United States, like either number one, you're going back to your country and put in your home prison, or you're going to be in prison the rest of your life in the United States under some prison. Because I don't know how the law works with, especially with immigration, because I'm not an immigration expert.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Any other topics you're interested in talking about?
Andrew, there's something in mod chat you should check out. I'm not gonna talk about it here.
All right, bet.
Oh wait, I did have something in mind. Like, what are your thoughts about climate change and all that?
In terms of climate change, I don't think it's like number one problem, but I mean, there's plenty of other problems that kind of overshadow climate change, but I wouldn't disregard it for sure. I mean, scientifically, it is real, but seems as if we've got maybe 100 or so years to act on it, but people seem to act like it's, the number one problem in the United States or the world, when in reality we have a lot more, but doesn't mean we should completely forget about it.
I mean, I completely agree with that. Even though I will admit, and people have disagreed with me over the years and debate about it. Personally, I don't see climate change as real because I don't remember what exactly this book said. I read it was like something to explain, like it debunked climate change. I don't remember what exactly the book was, but it pointed out a lot of facts. But I don't
Andrew,
remember exactly. But
Personally, I don't.
the person in mod chat is
what was it I was thinking? I personally don't see it as real, but I do see we should try and better our planet. Like we should be trying to find alternate sources of power and like electric cars, fusion, and all that. Like I'm not opposed to electric cars, but like forcing like, hey, everyone needs to buy electric cars as like the thing to help like change on like the like if you do one thing, it's not gonna help the other. Because if everybody's gonna drive an electric car, you're affecting like everything down the line. Because then charging stations, road infrastructure. How are we gonna tax to make sure we can get our roads fixed? Like it's like the law is not caught up with the tech advances we've seen, especially these last 20 years. And I'm almost 20, and it's wild to see the changes.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
Andrew. I don't know if he's joking or not because
Yeah,
I don't think he'd be able to text if that would happen.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's leave it in the mod chat though, JP.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Any other topics? I mean, we went through gun control, climate change, a little bit of immigration.
Not really much I could think of. I mean, I covered like all the basis of stuff I mainly like discuss over now. I mean, there is one other topic I would discuss, but I mean, personally, I don't want to put that out there because I know that would probably potentially put a target on my back, and I don't personally want to do that.
That's fair. You don't have to talk about it, but do you mind just maybe telling me what it is?
I'll just like my personal thoughts of the LGBTQ community. Now, I that's something I know is very hot button topic, especially in this time. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can all have our thoughts and opinions about it, but me as a service member, there's only like so much I could say, and I could be targeted for it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'll give my thoughts. You don't have to give yours. In
Of
terms
course, of course.
in terms of LGBTQ, I mean, it doesn't affect me. The thing that I do have a problem with is men and women's sports, men and women's locker rooms. I think chromosomes are very, very much a real thing and very much a part of a person's identity. Um, but in terms of, LGBTQ, as long as it doesn't affect me, it's fine. I think it's funny how you need to be 21 to drink in the United States, 18 to get a tattoo, but you can be any age to get a life-altering surgery. Um, I mean, I think if you hit the age requirement, if we were to raise it a little bit, then I mean, it wouldn't affect me. You're an adult and you're able to do, whatever you want within the law. But that's about as far as I'll go with it. It doesn't really affect me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really affect me too because I've met people in that community. I mean, it's now I know this might be a hot topic, especially on YouTube, and comments are probably going to say this, but I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, personally, I see it as a lifestyle choice. I mean, it's your choice to decide if you're willing to do this. I mean, it doesn't personally affect me because I just see it as your choice. It doesn't affect me, but like, I could really care less if you're mad about me, about my thoughts about it being like a choice.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree there.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all that I can really think of or that I'm personally willing to say.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. Anybody have thoughts on gun control? I know we have 3 other people in here, so maybe they can interject.
Yes, yeah. What is your thought about all of these school shootings that have been happening around America? What is
I was
your like
I was gonna
how
say the same thing.
Yeah, so
like how can we I'm sorry. How can we like stop like all these teenagers, middle schoolers, even high schoolers sometimes just like from getting guns and just doing school shootings, violent shootings?
I think that's where school security can come in, where they check your bags, but it's kind of a hard issue to stop if you really think about it.
yeah, I think
Or I
there's
mean, I personally do want to interject because I do come from the country, and my folks have talked about when they grew up in high school in the '90s, like people shotguns in the back, and then parents like teaching responsibility firearms, and then especially schools doing that. I mean, I can understand like bag checks and all that, especially in like some schools, but I personally think it's kind of up to the parents to teach responsibility to their kids about being safe around firearms and not using their firearm as a way to like get rid of their anger out on somebody or multiple people. I mean,
yeah.
that's just kind of how I see it from the perspective I've grown up in.
I think in terms of school shootings, the whole mental health aspect definitely runs in there. I mean, I think anybody who commits an atrocity as such as that clearly has vast mental issues, and I feel like if we made, a bit more of an effort to restrict gun ownership from those with, either past mental illnesses or um, current mental illnesses, I think that it would um, definitely decrease the number of those atrocities. But in terms of gun rights, it's a slippery slope. But I mean, I stand by what I said in terms of mental health.
100%.
But the kids, like the people, like the kids who do the school shootings, gets the guns from the parents, and like why? I
They
understand
don't.
Texas that it's a common thing to have like shotguns and everything. Like in places that were just for safety, like why would you just have like an AR or a shotgun just lying around your house, just like a pistol? Like
I mean, I think it's really up to the adults in the house to get a safe. I mean, I've got a safe. I feel like if you have a firearm, you should keep it protected, especially if you have a kind of a kid who might not be all there in the head. Um, I know that there was a case where I think the parents just had the firearm out in the open, maybe in the basement or something, and the kid was able to get a hold of it before school. And at that
Yeah, and
point,
this is where you
it's up to the
also
parents. Yeah,
this is this is where you also say do not give the password of the safe or the key combination to the kid because I mean my dad's told me that and I don't even know his safe combo.
yeah, exactly.
And you're gonna send. I'm gonna send something to you in DMs really quick.
All right, bet. Any more topics? Let's see. In terms of Trump, what are your thoughts on the whole Iran situation?
I mean, personally, I'm glad that we were able to strike a deal and get the strain reopened. I mean, personally, on my end, as a service member, I'm personally glad that we were able to resolve it without having to send our boys or me over there, because I think that does prevent less issues like, having to regretfully inform families or friends like, hey, so and so just passed because we fought over this. I mean, it's kind of it's a benefit that we were able to discuss it civilly, and it's also a benefit for the families as well.
Yeah, I agree. Nice that it's now opening. Gas is starting to go down, but I feel like we weren't really there for the United States. I feel like we might have been there for another country in the Middle East. I feel like we've kind of cried about weapons of mass destruction my entire life. I mean, I guess since 2001 or so, but I do like how we kind of eased kind of governmental change over there because their government was terrible. Took out their kind of regime leader and whatnot. But it's good that it's finally starting to come to an end for sure. Hopefully gas prices start diving down. The market's starting to do a lot better, so
Yeah. I mean, and my mom has especially pointed out it's the way like Trump is like knowing how to play his cards, especially here and abroad. He's this man, old school Democrat. He knows the cards to play. And I pointed out to my mom, he basically is playing chess while some folks are playing checkers, and he's beating them every time.
yeah, for sure.
All right, thank you, the man, the myth.
Yes,
Of
sir.
course,
I would
it's
like
my
to.
pleasure to be on here.
Of course.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you
Hey,
again.
hey, of course, guys, of course.
I'm
I
gonna
have
go
a
ahead
topic I would like
and
to talk about.
Yeah, let's hear
uh,
it. What's up, JP?
I'm just gonna invite Mr. Bobo up, but if it's quick, you can go.
Yeah, you can go quick.
Okay. Yeah, I was what's your thoughts about 9/11 and how we were not able to take out the planes enough before they hit the towers? What's your thought about that? And
Well, I mean, in terms of the first two planes, we didn't know. I mean, we didn't even know what was going to happen. The first plane, obviously, we had no way of figuring out what was happening. The second plane, we were still thinking that the first one was an accident, but the second one hit, we kind of realized that it was an attack on the country.
It's kind of hard to get to places that fast, also.
How do you accidentally hit a building
It's
that
not, it was,
at that time it was one of the world's largest buildings?
Yeah,
it wasn't an
they weren't
accident.
accidents. They were on purpose.
It was a terrorist attack.
Yeah, I know, but like, how do you think that was an accident? I mean, the first one, yeah, I understand why people would think that's an accident.
Oh, I
Like,
see. I see what you're saying. But
how would you hit one of the world's largest buildings at that time on accident?
things
yeah,
can
like
go wrong.
engine failure. There's like pilot
Or
passed out.
visibility.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of stuff. And then, dude, if you guys haven't heard, or you probably have, Oliver Tree, two helicopters collided in midair, which
Yeah,
I don't know how that's possible, how
yeah.
that happened, but that could just be a crazy
I've
coincidence.
I've heard theories about like his record label, Atlantic Records, like kill the rappers every time they try and leave.
Yeah, maybe we, yeah,
Kind of another
just
To
don't,
rabbit
Oliver
hole,
Tree.
but
yeah, maybe we don't
rest in
discuss
yeah.
conspiracy theories. Yep,
I'd say so. But in terms of Oliver Tree, rest in peace. Obviously, he was
yeah,
seemed like a
Hey,
fantastic person,
100%,
very
100%.
yeah, it was
talented
funny
as
guy.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah,
He had an interview before, like a few days before, I believe, and I was on an interview. It was like when I die, people will understand my stupid music, and he said
was it
like
for the
he
donation
was
to
saying
our
stuff about like I think he was like saying stuff about dying too. Also, I think.
yeah, he was.
wild coincidence. But in terms of 9/11, um, there's many conspiracy theories about it. One of like the more prominent ones is that it was perpetrated by the United States to get back into the Middle East. Do I believe that? I haven't really done enough research to give like a solid answer. Let's see here. How
I
many
mean, I would
planes
like
were
to
there? It was
personally also
four
say
planes,
it's
you said.
crazy the amount of plane crashes we've had this last little bit, especially the one at Andrews Air Force Base, which coincidentally there was someone from my home state there too, from Iowa, and that just baffles me because we also had a few months back two National Guard members die over in the Middle East, which I mean, it's just crazy the amount of crashes we had and the amount of people from my home state that are just dying.
Yeah.
And at the
I'm
beginning
gonna
of
go.
Trump's second term, wasn't there like a plane that collided with a helicopter or something like that?
Oh, what? I think that was over the Washington metropolitan area. It was a Black Hawk and I think a passenger airline? Question mark.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But what were you saying, JP?
I'm gonna go ahead and invite Mr. Bobby up because
Alright,
he's been waiting for a while.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I think that was over
Thank you for the donation, by the
metropolitan
way.
area.
All right, Mr. Bobby, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's up?
I have a quick debate.
Alright,
Who is better at basketball, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan, no debate.
Oh, come on, Michael Jordan, hands down.
Yep,
What do
that's all I
you?
needed to know. Bye.
Oh.
Later. Bro waited all that time for that.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's just so funny. But I mean, I think we could all personally agree Michael Jordan's like the GOAT of especially his time.
Yeah.
So physical
I mean,
back then, I mean, there's no debate.
yeah, like
I mean, come on, he
it's up there.
rocked in Space Jam. We can all agree on that. OG, LeBron,
They played like you guys, and it was way more physical. Like defense was more influenced back then. Nowadays, you'll just see like guys just let a layup go up and not even like try and block it or anything. Yes.
Every time I play against my friends, like I don't like how every little reach, like if you miss the ball, it's a foul. Like now, like every little thing's a foul. But then, when Michael Jordan was playing, you could just push someone to the ground and not even get a tech. It's just their ball.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Let's keep this political because that is the prompt on the screen. But I mean,
yeah, our
I'm gonna
apologies.
invite up Andrew Joe now,
Yeah,
and then
let's
after that, vibe check. Pretty sure. All right, Andrew Joe.
getting some more debates going, fellas. Make sure to click that subscribe button.
Hello, what's up, people?
What's up?
What up, gang?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm calling from Europe, and let me just put my phone. So I'm calling from Europe, and it's quite late in the night, and I have few takes. I like to hear your opinion or just discuss overall and see where the takes. So should we just continue from the last point? Maybe that was about. Or maybe we can start with the global impact that US has and that Trump had so far.
Yeah, sure.
So my take as somebody, so I grew up in Eastern Europe and I moved to West Europe to study a few years ago. And overall, I had a chance to see the difference between people thinking, I don't want to say close to Asia, but in Eastern Bloc and what my point was is the impact that the US had globally is kind of strange. Like it's love and hate relationship. If you're asking West Europeans, it's really proactive on this side. People love US. Everybody dreams of US salary. While on the East, people are not so related to US in terms of, yeah, it's just a different country.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm going slightly off the topic. And what I want to say is when it comes to national conflict, I know that US is always in advantage, but they're playing game on other people's turf. In this case, Middle East, right? So they say they're defending their country while attacking a different country. So how can you defend a country in a different country? That's crazy. And everybody with a bit of slight peace of mind can understand that it's just a media spin and just digital. I don't want to say nonsense, but just digital way to put it for people to take oil or some resources or to keep the economy that they set. And I'm wondering, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean,
When
there's no doubt that the United States has kind of put their footprint around the map in terms of the whole Iran situation. There's a growing number of Americans that believe that we aren't really in the Middle East for our best interests. We're more so there to defend another country called Israel.
Mhm.
It's a bit of a coincidence that right before we decided to jump into the Middle East again, Iran sent like a missile over Israel's border. I will tell you, there's a lot of Americans that are tired of fighting other countries' wars. It's a waste of our tax dollars, hurts the economy. The only really good thing that we've gotten out of the Iran war was like the whole governmental change over there. They had a terrible government. We took out their bad leaders, and it's up to the people now to elect solid leaders.
Yeah, I agree with your point. I truly do, and I think the America has the freedom in way of thinking compared to I just want to say Middle Eastern countries. Not that they're close-minded. Don't get me wrong. It's just a lot of people are religious, and based on their religion, they make assumptions. And what you see around yourself is how you proceed into the next day and the day after. And in US, people are quite open. You can see different things. People with pink hair, people with piercings, people with tattoos, six-wheel truck, or whatever, right? While in some countries, that's not a thing. People look way more similar. With that being said, uh, I want to say that those cultural differences is um, hmm, what makes the difference in the. Oh, I lost the plot a bit. Um,
I mean, we
what makes
basically
what
we
makes the
basically
difference in
understand
choice
what you're saying.
and sorry, and what US try to do is they try to intervene into somebody's opinion because they have what the world needs, right? Which is kind of good, but at the same time, it's also bad. So when you think about it, US try to help themselves, of course, but also rest of the world to show the democracy. While because Middle East has most oil, or let's say most oil for sale, they try to export it to world and make the deals everywhere. And Middle Eastern people can see that as they're interrupting their territory, which led to wars, etc., with a lot of bad decisions along the way. I hope you see my point, and
Yeah,
that's what made conflict, I would say.
yeah, I see it. It
Yeah.
seems like the United States has been known as like the world police, kind of like the beacon on the hill, if some would say. But do I think that we
Yeah,
should
I
be the
think,
world police? I don't really think so. I think we should be concerned with our own country instead of kind of having
yeah,
to
well,
interject ourselves.
I mean, I
yeah,
also do want to point out, especially if we think back to the 250 years of America, I mean, it's almost our birthday. I mean, if we really think about it, now I'm not going to be 100% right on the math, but like probably 90% of our history has been fighting, whether it be, Revolutionary, the Civil War, like our wars here at home, but then also the wars abroad. I mean, it's just kind of almost embedded, I would say, into our culture as America.
yeah.
Yeah.
I, as somebody who comes from, I want to say, country with a rich history, right? America is not wrong and right. It's if you take a look at history and you say the America is leader, that's totally right now. And before that, I think it was Europe most likely. Before Europe, probably Asia. Who knows, right? But over time, everything changes, and it's just going to be a part of the history we live in, right? And right now, that I think it was Europe most likely. Who knows, right?
Hey, Andrew.
But
Yeah, I feel like
over
you're
time,
kind of cutting out a little bit there. But
gonna be a part. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking I lost my thought because where I am, it's kind of late, but I'm also trying to convey the idea, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Uh, but sorry. And then my whole point is like, yeah, if you're, yeah, sorry, not my whole point, but one of the points I was thinking about sometime is the people living in America are actually Native Americans, right? Not Europeans. And throughout the history, so I don't know a lot about history of US. I don't know about civil wars. I mean, I know basic concepts, right? But then when Europeans migrated to US or new land, right? They conquered different areas, and not in a good way or a bad way. But I think they traded with Native Americans. Also, they killed them. A lot of Native Americans died, unfortunately, because they had weapon power while they didn't have. And I was always wondering what would the world be? What would Native Americans develop in North America nowadays if they had a chance to do so, as it was maybe planned by nature? Do you see? It's kind of crazy take, but
I mean, yeah, I
that's
get
their
that.
land, right?
I get that, but I mean, can't really can't really speak logic onto something as far as 250 years ago. But I mean, same goes for Australia. I mean, it looks a lot
Oh
different
yeah.
now than it did near the original, the Aboriginals and what they had there. So we can't really say what the two countries would look like if they weren't conquered. But I'd say the majority of Americans are, European ancestors, or at least in my area, it seems to be that way. A lot of them, there's still a lot of Native Americans, obviously. Um, there's also a lot of South Americans, but I mean, it is the melting pot, so it's
Yeah,
definitely difficult
right.
to speak on, what it would look like if if it weren't conquered by the Europeans, but or 250
No,
years
I'm
past
not
that.
saying that. I'm not. Yeah, that's true. I get it. I'm not saying that as Europeans did something good or bad. It's just how world was going to. And getting to the point of what the man, the myth, the legend mentioned, the climate change. Just want to point out, I sent in a chat that 300 years ago or 300 plus years ago, plastic was invented. Or sorry, I'm crazy take, but a long time ago, plastic was invented, right? And throughout the history, there was no proof of plastic being dissolved into world. And we are mass producing plastic things because it's cheapest, right? And you get the most profit on that. But when you look at the nature and everywhere in the world, it's just stacking up. And some countries in Southeast Asia took initiative to clean it up so they can reintroduce fishing. But I think the Western world has not, especially with big corporations, etc. They do use paper straws and everything, but in the background there are so many plastic things. And speaking of electric cars and everything, when you say climate change, just to my opinion on that, add my opinion on that, I think it's if we resolve other problems, climate change would follow. And at the moment we are just at a step where every step forward, I don't know if it's a good step, but taking a step backwards now with digital and technology, it's so difficult. Like it's so difficult to do that, right? Not to be on your phone or everything. So it needs some kind of disaster to happen for people to realize, because yeah, otherwise it's like the hard way, and people don't want to take hard way in 21st century.
Hey, I just want to interrupt really quick. We're getting a lot of
Yeah.
people that want to talk more about the president right now and more like debate things, if that's fine.
Oh, sorry. Is it fine? Okay, no worries. Can I
No,
maybe
no,
just
no, yeah.
mention
Thank
something
you. Thank
about
you for
Trump?
everything, though.
Sorry? Is it fine if I discuss about Trump and I can leave and just hear your opinion?
Yeah, of
Or
course, absolutely.
right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So about Trump, the first run, let's say like that, was perfect. Like as in terms of somebody looking outside of US, I didn't know what was happening in US, but it sounded like a perfect world. Then in 2020 or 2016, yeah, the Biden or 2020, the Biden ruled, and then everything was starting to look LGBT plus and etc. Like it was going crazy. But nowadays, I think since the start, the Trump has been, I don't want to say he's lost the plot, not in a bad way, but everything he did is like super forced, and he wants to perform while being super old. And I don't mind it, right? But it's also he's making things move for maybe no reason. And let's hope that the World Cup settles it down, and after World Cup, people World Cup people continue to be happy and it doesn't cause like a backfire riot at some point.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, I see what you're talking about, man. And even I'm speaking as a perspective of an American. I would also say, like, especially if you think about the last 4 years of President Biden. I mean, let's think about maybe the main reason a lot of this stuff might seem a little pushed or a little rushed. I mean, let's think about it. There's always that one president who's like, I don't like what the previous administration is. We're get rid of that. I mean, let's think about it. It went Trump, then Biden, then Trump. So I mean, it's kind of like Biden threw out what Trump did, but then Trump is like, let's bring back what I did. So that might be that's just what I'm kind of seeing because I've gotten to see like both sides of it.
Yeah, you're right. And what we meant to say sometimes in Europe is like a warmed up meal, warmed up soup, right? You had it first time, it was perfect, but then when you warm it up, it's not as good. So
Yeah.
that could be a comparison. Nothing against Trump, of course. Love you guys. I mean, when it comes to the country, you live in such a cool country. And besides that, thank you for having me. It's quite late here, 4 a.m., so my takes are slightly crazy, and
It's all good.
it's I'm trying
No, you're
to.
good.
Hey, there's no such thing as a crazy take. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
It's only like
Right.
8 o'clock.
Oh,
No, wait. I think it's like 8
yeah.
o'clock at night where I'm from.
It's only
Yeah.
it's about 10
Thank you
here.
for your time, staying up
sir.
until 4 in the morning.
Absolutely. What a goat. Appreciate it.
Mm,
Yeah,
No
thank you.
worries, Nick Frank. It was because of the picture, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, dude.
Ciao.
Yes, sir. Later.
Yeah.
Can I just what I just been thinking this for a bit. I'm just gonna like come back around to like the Middle East. What do you think would happen if like America had like some land, like let's say America like America's now Israel. What do you think would like what would happen with like the Middle East and the power around that area?
Yeah, we'd probably build a wall.
Yeah, I think that's unfeasible. It's probably don't see that ever happening, but I'd say it's pretty unfeasible that would end up taking place. So
Well, yeah, it's just a what if.
yeah, that's fair. Let me see. I think we're sitting at around 73,000 viewers total. A little over 13,000 subscribers. A new
Woo-hoo!
membership, which is pretty sick. New membership. That's like I think my first ever membership. So that's pretty cool.
Tough.
And typically I stream for about 2 hours, so we're approaching that in 2 minutes. To everybody in the audience on Discord, y'all are next up for tomorrow's debate. It'll be the same topic. We'll get you all in there. Let me see how many people we got watching live right now.
And Andrew, I sent you something in DM.
All right, bet. Let me check it out. But we got about 300 live people watching right now, so it's pretty good. To the
Should
people
we
that
just
are,
do one more person before ending live?
yeah, we can do that.
I know
Oh,
there's
100%.
been people.
I gotta-
I'm eager to get in on this discussion.
I know SM1DG3 has been waiting for a while, and also Meow wants to go.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I'm gonna head out. Andrew, I'll see y'all later. Hopefully tomorrow. Don't know though.
Yes, sir.
But
Thanks for all the
all right,
Hey,
help.
I
thank
might
y'all.
try and watch
You guys
this
later.
stream tomorrow, guys. So hey, I might join in again. But
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the
Yeah,
help, though,
I'd be
seriously.
happy to have you, the man.
Yeah.
hey,
All
of
right.
course,
See you guys
the
later,
man,
man.
the myth, the legend himself.
All right, fellas, who do you think we should get in here?
I have a quick topic we could do if you would
Alright.
like.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it. Oh yeah, you're new. My bad.
Yeah, I was just like, what's your opinion on Kamala and her trying to run for one of the first female presidents? What's your opinion on that and stuff?
Well, I mean, I don't think that presidents can be confined by gender. I mean, one day we will have the first female president. That's not a good thing, and it's not a bad thing. A president's a president. But I mean, it would have been very historic if she had one, being the first female president. So you got to give that to her.
Yes, yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, a lot of
But I
people.
think also the other point that should be raised, especially with people like, Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, I think the point should also be made like, yes, it would have been revolutionary for both of them to have been able to win the presidency. But I think also the problem came down to, especially with Kamala Harris, like yes, she could connect with voters, but just like there was a lot of things that people were like, what the heck? Why is she, doing what she's doing? Why is she acting this way? Why is she literally lying to the camera's face?
Yes.
Yeah.
She did that.
Let's see.
Believe she did that.
Should we get somebody else up here?
Is my mic working?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
I can hear
Is
you.
it good? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to ask, what is your view on what do you think has changed ever since Obama has left the office and Trump has came in? What do you think?
Well, it's
What has
definitely
gotten better?
It's definitely become more divisive, that's for sure. But I mean, that's Trump's nature. I feel like he's kind of had that in him his entire life. If that's a bad thing, if it's a good thing, I mean, it's up to interpretation. But he's definitely taken a more streamlined approach to negotiations, trying to negotiate more fair deals for the United States abroad. He's definitely a lot more critical of NATO because they weren't paying their fair share. And I wouldn't say he's more stark at the border than Obama because Obama did solid at the border. I mean, he deported 3 million people. He did arguably better than Trump border wise, but it's definitely become more divisive. But he's definitely taken a more streamlined approach to foreign negotiations for sure.
I mean, just to kind of interject, especially about Trump, like if we really think about it, he's been a businessman for like forever, especially his father before him. So I mean, and especially him running, The Apprentice for like, well, I don't know how long that show ran for, but I think the point should also be made. He's been in the business of making money and making deals. So I mean, he's taking the skills he has learned over the last 40 plus years and applying it to the presidency in a way that people are like, either like, I like what's going on, or either like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. We're sitting at about 2 hours so far this stream, so I might try and wrap things up. But once the stream's over, we can continue talking for sure.
Hey, of course, I have no problem with that. I got all night, boys.
Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here real quick.
Fair enough.
All right, we've ended today with
Okay, bye, Maxwell. Well, Andrew. Bye.
77,000 people.
Hey, see you, man. See you,
That's
King. Have a
insane.
good one, man.
Just call me.
See you.
Let's see here.
See ya, Myth, and
we've had about 77,000 viewers. I'm new to Discord, that's why it hasn't been fantastic. We got one new member and two donations. That's great. Thank you, John Y505S, for the membership. Appreciate that a lot. And we've hit the 13,000 subscriber mark. Let's see if maybe we can get to 13,100. Who knows? But I'm live hopefully every day at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I do debates. I try and keep it in the middle, but I would say I'm just right of center. So I'm critical of both sides for sure. I love the First Amendment, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope it was entertaining. I'm new at this, so hopefully I just continue getting better. How was the cookout? It was fantastic. Aaron, you can always scroll. Appreciate it. But thank you all for being here. Ended with about 139 likes. That's great. And we hit the 13,000 subscriber mark, so I'm very happy with that. Join the Discord if you want to debate tomorrow. It'll be a whole lot of fun. And I'll see you guys then. Appreciate it.